What can you do when there's more than one student misbehaving in your classroom? In this video, I'll share with you some effective strategies to deal with problem student behaviour, especially when you have more than one student who's behaving inappropriately and it can feel like you're playing whack-a-mole. While there's no silver bullet or magic wand that will make this problem go away, there are some steps you can take to reduce off-task student behaviour and increase student engagement. Recognising that difficult student behaviour is one of the biggest challenges you may face as a teacher is important for your own well-being and the way that you talk to yourself about your profession. Because it doesn't matter how experienced you are, you can be thrown a curved ball with student behaviour at any stage of your career. My name is Mari Amaro and I'm the Principal Presenter at The Highly Effective Teacher. I'm a teacher and I've been working with students and supporting teachers for over 30 years. I'm passionate about student and teacher wellbeing, and I combine research and experience to provide strategies that improve teacher wellbeing, especially the practices that take no extra time, that can actually give you back time by working more effectively. I love coaching teachers so that they thrive in the teaching profession, not just survive. Improved teacher wellbeing means improved student wellbeing, and that contributes to better academic and social outcomes for all your students. If you'd like to learn more about teacher wellbeing, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so that you receive notifications of all our videos. When you subscribe, that helps to support the channel, means that we can get more videos out to more teachers to help and support them. Teachers often come to me bemoaning the fact that while they know the strategies to use for one off-task student, they're not really sure what to do when there's more than one student misbehaving. The situation can feel overwhelming, and you may need to look outside the box for answers to this situation. I recently worked with a teacher with a student whose behaviour in the classroom was becoming increasingly difficult to manage. The student would run out of the classroom, would wander around the classroom when they were there, rip up other kids' work, and not follow teacher directions. This one student's behaviour also was setting off other students' behaviour too. And the teacher feels really challenged because he's had many years of experience as an educator and feels that he should be able to handle the situation. Having a difficult class with a number of tricky students can be particularly challenging. So if this is the case for you, make sure that you're seeking assistance and support from your executive staff when you need it, and take time for yourself to regroup. Sometimes taking a mental health day does wonders for your ability to cope and help you take a different perspective. Here are some steps you can look at if you're in this situation and work to improve it both for you and for your students. Number one, the first thing to do is check the basics in your classroom. Do you have clear expectations? Are you using a reinforcement system? And do you have consistent consequences that are applied consistently and used well? Do the students know exactly what's expected of them in your class, especially with regard to behaviour and work tasks? And how are they positively reinforced? To find out more about how to apply logical consequences to your students, check out our video here where we go through the steps of what to do to make consequences logical and meaningful and supportive for your students, as well as for you. Number two, identify the main protagonist and see what you can do to get him or her on side. Building a relationship with this student is time well spent. Be aware that if this behaviour has gone on for any length of time, you may not really feel like building a relationship with this student, and that's perfectly normal. But it is also your job to know your students. So what can you learn about this student and what can help you to build a relationship and see them in a different light? What are they interested in? What are their strengths? What's the reason for them being disengaged from the class? And is there anything that you can do about that? Number three, build a positive classroom culture. Work on your relationship with all the students in the class. If there is a group of students who are disruptive, then other students are being impacted by that behaviour. Consider having a fresh start for everyone, including you. Revisit, redesign, and reteach your classroom expectations. Give the students a voice in how the class is run, and give them some choice around their work tasks, either in how they're completed, what order they do, or who they do them with. If you'd like to learn more about how to build a positive classroom culture, check out our videos on that. We've got 2 of them because there's so many things you can do. Building a positive classroom culture is an ongoing process with your students, and some classes are more difficult to connect with than others. And you may feel frustrated and overwhelmed or doubting yourself, so it might be time to have a rethink about it. Number 4, increase your use of positive reinforcement for the students who are on task. Change your focus from the students who are off task to those who are on task. What you focus on will increase in intensity and frequency. So if you focus on the students who are cooperating and use that to change the behaviour of the other students, make it worth everyone's while to be on task by providing specific positive feedback and celebrating success. And check out our video on why positive reinforcement is good for teacher wellbeing. That will give you some good tips around why it's good for you as well. Number 5, hold a problem-solving circle or a class meeting to discuss what's going on in the class. For this to be successful, you may need someone from outside, either an executive or someone who is skilled in running circle time. They need to be able to run it in a non-judgmental, non-threatening way that will build positive classroom culture, and it gives you an opportunity to be part of the group. Number 6, find out what the students expect. Discuss with your class what they'd like to see happen in your classroom and what they expect from you as a teacher, and be prepared to listen with an open mind and not take any of their comments personally. It may give you some really good insight into some things that would change in the classroom that could make it a much more pleasurable experience for you and for your students. Number 7, check your lesson structure. If you have a number of students with tricky behaviour, you may need to rethink what you're doing in your lessons. Using relevant, engaging curriculum, using student-centred pedagogy that allows for student voice will help reduce off-task behaviour and improve academic results. It won't do everything, but if these things are missing, then you haven't got much hope at all. Number 8, have a consistent approach. Is this class or student a problem for other teachers? You may like to talk to teachers and find out what's going on, and then consider working together to address the issues in the class. For example, you could talk to the class together, have a planned, consistent approach that all the teachers who have that class follow, using the same reinforcers, focusing on the same behaviours that they want improved, and using each other's class as respite when needed. If you'd like to learn more about how to be consistent in the classroom, it's one of the challenges of teaching, check out our video here. Number 9, call parents. Most parents are appalled to think that their child is not behaving in class. And while calling parents may take time and energy, it's well worth the resulting improvement. And maintain regular contact with parents until the issue is resolved. Number 10, enlist a buddy teacher. Consider combining classes and doing some team teaching with a colleague, someone who you work well with. Working with another teacher offers the opportunity to run your class in a completely different way. For example, in science, one teacher may conduct the experiments in the lab while the other teacher runs the research component for the topic. Students could then be given a choice of when they complete the tasks. Number 11, change it up. The only person whose behaviour you can control is your own, and changing your behaviour may influence your students. For example, if you give lots of attention to students who are off task, reducing the amount of attention may result in a reduction of that behaviour. Conversely, if you ignore certain behaviours because you're unsure of how to respond, you need a planned response, and then acting consistently on that may take students by surprise, and it might change the dynamic in your classroom. Thanks for watching our videos. Stay safe and happy teaching.